Alright, welcome back, and here we have our quarterly wild edible and survival skill of the month from Creek Stewart. Alright, and so again, I don't like doing these just like every month because there's not really a whole lot to talk about. You know, it's like you just go through them real fast. Again, I love these subscriptions. We are going to start with our wild edible plant of the month, and this is January. So let's get oh, you know what? Let's try this. All right. So let's get into this here. Let's see what we got for January for our wild edible. I am actually in the process of locating wild edibles in my area, and I plan on doing a whole series of videos just based on the wild edible plants in my area. So I think currently I have successfully identified 10 plants in the immediate area that have edible or medicinal parts to it, and so I'm actually going to. I want to do it for a whole year, so I want to have 52 plants identified, and then put that whole process into place. So hopefully by next year I'll have that whole series ready to rock out, and once a week I'll be bringing you a wild edible in my area. So if you live in like the desert, it'll help you kind of like identify things. And then I want to do other areas as well, but it's important to know the edible plants in your immediate area. And so for me, it's going to be the desert because it's where I live. Not a whole lot to choose from, but you'd be surprised. But anyway, okay, so for January, our wild edible was the Asian mulberry. Let's see here. It's apparently everywhere except Alaska and Nevada. That's kind of weird. Just yeah, common names of mulberry, white mulberry, family Moraceae, mulberry family. My Latin's a little bit weak. I did take it in college, but it's a little bit weak right now. Actually, I took Latin. Okay, Asian mulberry is native to Asia and widely naturalized across North America. Forest edges, fence lines, old fields, roadsides. Leaves are variable. So you're going to get a plant profile, and you're going to get some good pictures. He always has great pictures. I'll definitely give credit for that. You're going to get a map of where it's located, and then on your second page you're going to get Creek's commentary, and he's going to tell you about it. You get more great pictures. And then this is one thing that I really like. And this is gonna. And I'm when I do my videos, I'm gonna kind of. I'm thinking how I'm gonna line them up, but I'm gonna kind of cater them similar to how he does it. Not exactly, but then of course there you have unique identifying features. And again, when I do my videos, I'm gonna talk about. I mean, I'm not really necessarily gonna do a lot of this, but I'm gonna talk about the plants, what parts are edible and all that good stuff, but. Identifying features, super important. You have to make sure you know what you're eating before you eat it. So I like these identifying features. He's got like 6 features. He always has 6 features, and then with really good pictures. And then last but not least, probably one of my favorite, harvest and preparation. So, and I will be doing the same thing with my videos, with like the local plants. So, but that's it. Asian mulberry. And now then for February, let's see what we got for February. All right. So for the month of February, we got star chickweed. And this is something that I read. I read about chickweed, I don't have it here in Texas, sadly. But if I move more to the east, it's good to know. If I have to move out of this area, I want to have an idea of what plants are edible when I'm traveling. And so, like I said, this series is a great way to learn that information. And again, you got the habitat, where it's located, the names, a lot of where it came from and others. And then of course, go to your second page and you have his commentary. He tells you all about it with some more great pictures. And then here we have the unique identifying features. And then finally we have harvest and preparation, where he tells you, the best edible parts and gives you a recipe. We got chickweed. Oh, the recipe for the Asian mulberry was mulberry trail syrup. And then this one here is chickweed spring green salad. So, and that's one thing. A lot of wild plants. It's like you're either gonna cook them or you're gonna eat them raw. So you're gonna be making a salad. You're gonna be cooking them. So, all right, let's see what we got for March. I want to gut myself. Let's see here. All right, month of March. The brand new one, and we got gooseberry. Actually, I used to eat these. Yeah, I used to find these in Arizona out in the forest. Gooseberry, wild gooseberry, native across much of America, especially out the northern Rocky Mountains, and I lived in the foothills of the Rockies. So, yeah, I used to eat these. I mean, I didn't know what I was eating. I was like, oh, these are sweet, so I ate them. Again, you got the commentary, and you got gooseberry versus currant, helpful identification tip. They belong in the same genus, look familiar. And you can eat gooseberries too, currants too, so it's not like you're going to be risking death or anything. Then, of course, the unique identifying features. Take a look at that. Love the pictures. And then finally, harvest preparation. Berries, eaten when fresh when ripe, cooked into jams, dried preserves, used in pies and desserts. Wild gooseberries are edible. The shrubs are often protected by sharp thorns. I'll vouch for that. And then we got wild gooseberry camp jam is our recipe. So that is it for the first quarter of our wild edible of the month. Of course, we'll put it in the binder later. I'm not digging this mess out because I do have a mess right now. But we're going to keep moving on here to the survival skill of the month. Again, he sends digital ones, but I don't have the app he uses, and I'm not going to pay for it. I mean, it's like I pay to have hard copy, not have to download it myself. So, all right, and I do love the survival skill. I love how he breaks it down. Simple pop tab survival trap. Survival traps and related information provided here are intended solely for entertainment and educational purposes. Yeah, you gotta check your local laws. So it says here, and this is really good. You got your disclaimer here, but this is not a Creek Stewart original survival trap. I have a lot of fun reverse engineering it after watching a family in Southeast Asia use the exact design to catch rats for food. Less than 10 minutes of build time, this trap can be turned into an extremely effective small game or rodent snare. Six pieces, one sturdy stick, 30 inches long and about the diameter of a number 2 pencil, one 12-inch length of 1/8 inch or smaller bungee shock cord, one simple wire noose, 2 zip ties, and one discarded aluminum pop tab. And we know those are everywhere. And so there's got you all the things there. And then build the shock cord engine. Attach the engine. So you got step by step. Step 1, prepare the pop tab. Step 2, build the engine. Step 3, attach the engine to the stick. That's what the zip ties are for. Step 4, create the trigger catch. It's over here. Step 5, make and attach the wire noose. And then step 6, set and place the trap. And you got step-by-step pictures. And then finally, and this is really cool because a lot of this is discarded trash you're using right here. So the mechanics of this trap are simple and highly effective. When the rodent enters the noose and pulls forward, the pop tab slips free from the zip tie trigger. The bungee shock cord immediately retracts, tightening the noose around the animal. Trap lines of this type should be checked at least twice per day. The snare can be reused multiple times or quickly relocated as needed. Practicality and durability in the field. This is one thing I do like. Passive trapping is an essential survival skill, and the more trapping options you have, the better. The design is also effective for protecting crops or food stores from rodent damage. Rodents being consumed directly when thoroughly cooked are used as bait for larger trap sets and fishing systems. Important note, improvised survival traps are illegal in most locations and should only be used in a genuine survival situation. Yeah, I mean, you're not just going to be trapping animals, just for the hell of it. But it's going to know how to trap. So, all right. And then as always, down here on the bottom, we do have our legend, which tells us, where in our survival skill it goes. And then the plants are all the same. We just have the plant on the bottom. That's going to show you that. So now, if it was part of a bigger compendium, then you just put the plants behind the survival skills, and you are good to go. So they kind of work together as like one, as one. So, anyway. All right. So February. Let's see what survival skill we got for February. So I like the trap. That's useful and pretty easy. All right. So. How to make a coiled pine needle basket. Materials, pine needles. Longer needles are easier to manage, but use what is available. I might try this because I do have a lot of pine trees in the back, in the park over here. A strictly coarse walnut slice, bone disc, or a hard cross section with the evenly spaced drill holes, or rafa, artificial sinew, bank line, add bank line, wax thread, other. Tapestry needle or large eye needle. I need to pick that up anyway. Scissors, cutting tool, bowl of warm water for soaking the needles, cloth or towel. All right, I might try making this. I got a lot of pine needles in the back over here. Okay, if your needles are dry or brittle, soak them in warm water for several minutes so they become flexible. So probably better to use green needles. Remove broken pieces and debris. Align the needles so their tips face the same direction. For small needles, you may want to form a small bundles of thickness around a pencil. Blah blah blah. Prepare the core. Anchor the cordage. So you got some pretty good pictures there. So here's your materials. That's your step 1. I think I'm going to do this. So we're going to see if I can manage to make a basket. Start the first coil. Continue the pattern. Keep it so. There you go. Starting the coil. Maintain consistency. Complete the circle. And then here, you just, basically what you're doing is you're just wrapping them in a circle like that so far. And then building the walls. Instead of expanding outward, stack the next directly above the previous coil. Oh, okay. To stitch down the coil. Yeah, so you stack it. So the first one you're going around this way, and then you're going the same direction, but you're going up, and then you stitch them together, finishing the rim, tapering and final shaping. Continue building the basket, reach desired height. Huh. A coil gunner is more than a craft project. It is a proof that a useful equipment can be built with almost anywhere with minimal resources. So I might try doing this just to learn how to do it. And again, I've got plenty of pine needles out in the park right behind me. So that's something that I'll practice it, and then, hey, I'll make a video on that. We'll see how well it actually works. Because I think it. Oh, I didn't open this. It just came like this, so makes it easy. Um, it's good to know how to do these things. So I definitely want to start giving them a try. I'm gonna go through them and start actually like doing these survival skills. And I think I have enough now that I can pick some stuff and I can actually make them interesting. All right, next up, a visual guide to camel face paint using modern and improvised paint options. Flattening the face, choosing colors, green, brown, black. I have some camo too. Woodland camouflage tutorial. Tells you how to use woodland camouflage. Dry terrain camouflage. Light or no light conditions. And he's got, the pictures there. Improvised natural camouflage. Commercial face paints convenient. People have with natural materials thousands of years. And then over here it's got like like your face and like how to actually camouflage. Then you got extreme camo, where you're like do this like Arnold Schwarzenegger from The Predator. Practicality and durability in the field. Camouflage isn't about becoming visible, it's about reducing the chance of being noticed. By breaking up the recognizable shape of the human face and matching the tones of the surrounding environment, you can dramatically reduce your visibility in the field. Disrupt the shape, flatten the face, blend with your surroundings. With a little practice, effective camouflage can be applied in just a few minutes. It's a skill that can serve you well in the wild. I gotta tell you, that's pretty obvious, but hey, this one here is pretty good. It's whatever. Learn how to use camo, yeah, I guess. We have some camo we got from Gear Pack. I mean, yeah, it's a survival skill. I'll give it that. Not very exciting, but yeah, that's it. Yeah, so we got the Asian mulberry, we got the star chickweed, and we got the gooseberry. Then we got the simple pop tab survival trap, how to make a coiled pine needle basket, and a visual guide to camel face paint. Pretty cool stuff. And again, I'll get out later. But the importance of all of this is that it is a little bit, don't get me wrong, I mean, you can probably buy a survival book for a lot cheaper than you can getting all this stuff individually. But a lot of this stuff you're not going to find in survival books. Like, I haven't seen the pop tab trap in any survival book. Nor have I seen, how to make a coiled pine needle basket. So that's one thing. By doing this through Creek Stewart, you are going to get skills that you might not necessarily find in a lot of books. Again, it's $6.99 per month, and yeah, it's $6.99 for the survival skill, $6.99 for the wild edible. I mean, in the immediate time, it's not that expensive, but when you consider what you're getting over time, it gets to be a little bit expensive. But I think that $6.99 per month, most people spend 3 or 4, 5, 8 times that in coffee in a week. So I think that $7 a month to actually get something that can be useful in a survival situation, I think it's a good deal. But that's just my opinion. I don't know Creek Stewart. I don't work for Creek Stewart. I'm not endorsed by Creek Stewart. But I like this. I think this, again, I had a pocket box, and that box was just, I don't know, it's a good concept, but, pardon me, a lot of the stuff we were getting in it was like not very good quality. Like the lighter knife, it like broke real fast. Like within a week, it had come loose of the knife, and the lighter had the lighter bracket had come loose. So just not. I mean, you get like some good stuff in a pocket box, but for me, it wasn't cutting it. So I was already getting, you know, SHTF box, which was loaded with like cheap Chinese knockoffs, but even that they seem to last better than the Apoca box stuff. So when the contents of a Apoca box are good, they're good. This Tuk Tu knife is simple, but this is good. You know, I haven't even done anything with it. I need to fix it, but this is a good product. I mean, you know, this is a good item. Sometimes I have to put the blade in there, but it's whatever. That happened a long time. But when a pocket box is cheap, it's cheap. So, but as far as Creek Stewart goes, I do love the survival skill and the wild edible of the month. I think that this is a great, you know, $14 per month. You're building a library, and that's knowledge, and knowledge is kind of priceless, you know, especially when it's, you know, survival. But that's it for the wild edible and survival skill of the month. I don't want to drag these out. That's why I put them, you know, all in one for a quarter. So we'll be back in June, and we'll look at April, May, and June. And anyway, until next time, keep prepping.